What's up, tube viewers, and welcome back to Factorio 1.0 mods and angels plus other mods. There's been a few changes in between episodes. I came in and redesigned the compressed air system that was giving me oxygen. It's pretty much the same. I removed one of the chemical plants because 3 air compressors won't support 3 chemical plants if it's running just constantly. So each one of these I think generates 33 compressed air per second or something like that, and these can use 50 compressed air per second. So 3 of these gives us like what, 99.9 or whatever. So two chemical plants work out pretty well for 3 air compressors, or air filters rather. The updated blueprint will be on the Google Doc if you're looking for that. So I've also included the flare stack in the system to get rid of the nitrogen, although we will be using this nitrogen later on. I also moved the carbon monoxide system down. As you can see, it used to be right here, and I basically just cleaned things up right around this area where that big mess was yesterday, and made it a little more purty and a little better designed. I also added this top-up valve to this system because what was happening is this chemical plant wasn't able to dump its purified water back into the system because the purified water I had it connected to was just generating tons of purified water, right? So I needed a top-up valve here to allow this system to actually dump its purified water. That way it could continue to produce carbon monoxide. Likewise, on the oxygen, I have a top-up valve here so that this electrolyzer can dump its oxygen into the system before this. That way we can continue to produce carbon monoxide. We don't get any backups there. Also, there is another recipe for carbon monoxide, which is a little simpler. Yeah, Cool Processing 2 here will give you the carbon plus purified water to make carbon monoxide. So it's a little cleaner of a setup. All you need is 1 liquefier to do this. So you just have purified water from here, and then there's carbon on this line, so we could easily just like split a line off over to wherever we needed it. But I already had the system set up, so I'm going to leave it. Blueprint will be in the Google Doc as well if you want to use this. It is available a little earlier than the other one, but as long as you have red science going, then you can research this one. So I also replaced all of my inserters with the splitter belt that I was talking about, where the belt just feeds directly into the processors here. Reason being, I was thinking about it, and realistically, this line is never going to back up with ore because we're storing all of our ingots in a warehouse, right? If we're backed up on this side, that means our warehouses are completely full, and that means we're not consuming them, which that's a problem somewhere else, right? That's not a problem with this. So this is cleaner, it looks nicer, and it functions just as well. So first off, we had some backups on the flotation cells, and if you're using these blueprints, you might have already encountered this and fixed it, but I had no return valves. Where are they? I had no return valves on this sulfuric wastewater line pointing this direction because that's the way it used to run, but I don't even know why I had these valves, to be honest. They weren't needed. They didn't do anything for the system at all. So they were actually stopping some of these flotation cells from dumping into the system. So if you're using this blueprint, make sure you go along the sulfuric wastewater line and remove all the no return valves. Also, what is this? What is this third line? Ah, okay, that's the nitric wastewater, I think. So we actually don't need this third line going this way because we're not processing water over here. If you're wondering why I have all these pipes in the blueprint, it's because when I first set the system up, I was actually processing my wastewater on the right side of this system instead of the left. Yeah, so we don't need these because we don't have any nitric wastewater over here. I think the rubite is what... Yeah, the rubite... Wait. Yeah, that's correct. Okay. The rubite has nitric wastewater. Also, we don't have to set the rubite up, and I'm going to discuss that in a little bit. I was saying that I needed the lead from the rubite to get the zinc to run, but that's incorrect, and I will cover that in 1 second. Another issue that I had was there's actually some inputs on these filtration units that need to be connected. The crystal slurry ones have mineralized water that need to be pumped into them, so I've connected that over to this line, which runs down to my algae farms, and I also have a top-up valve on that. That way we're using the mineralized water from these hydro plants first, And then if we need additional mineralized water, it's pumping in from our algae farms over here. So yeah, we needed mineralized water into the crystal slurry filtration units, and then purified water into the slag slurry filtration units here, which we already had purified water right here that we ran. So I just ran a line up, connected it right there, pretty easy. Some other things I did was I replaced some of our tier 1 turrets with tier 2 turrets. Not all of them, just a few around key areas like up here, down here in the corner, areas where I think are going to get hit the hardest. I'm also starting to run a belt for ammunition to supply all these. I also ran the ingot belts, as you can see. Oh yeah, look at that. That is so beautiful. Oh my goodness, it makes me so hot. Now that that's all that's covered, we can come up here and talk about the lead. So yesterday I was talking about how the zinc needs to be next to the lead, and it needs to have access to lead ingots and all that, and it needs to also be able to deposit into the lead warehouse. All that is just, let's just etch a sketch it, because it's all completely incorrect. I came back in here and let's just remove this, because we're moving the induction furnace is what's going on right now. Main reason, well, only reason, is because this chemical furnace only needs 12 ingots to perpetually run. If you look here, it takes 60 molten lead for to produce the zinc ingots, right? That's the minimum we can put into this for it to run. One lead ingot is equal to 10 molten lead. So you can see we're getting 6 lead ingots back. So we're getting the exact same amount of ingots back that we're putting into it. So all we need to do is set up the induction furnace on this side, and then we need an inserter pulling from the chemical furnace into the induction furnace. And then we can move this loader. We can just run the pipe directly like this. Do we need an inline storage tank? I don't think we do, because all I need in this system is 12 lead ingots. That's the minimum for this recipe to process. So we're gonna have to make enough ore to create 12 lead ingots. Yeah, so once we get 12 lead ingots in this induction furnace, that's all the lead we're ever gonna need to introduce into this zinc system, and it will just perpetually run itself that way. Just depositing the lead ingots back into the induction furnace. But yeah, here's how I'm dumping onto these. If I didn't make that clear yesterday, we're just dumping onto the top right. Wait, what was that? Oh my goodness. Wait, when did this get added? Splitters have built-in filters? Wait, can I filter one thing to the left and one thing to the right? I think I can. I think I can actually filter something on the other side. That's so cool. Oh my gosh. How did I not know about this before? And I could choose which side it gets deposited? Oh, dude. Was this part of the 1.0 changes? I don't think this is part of Bobs and Angels. So the filter added to the splitter and the input-output priorities were actually added back in 2018. Shows how up to date on the game I am. This is so badass. Holy cow. I'm gonna have to remember to use that at some point. That's not gonna do me any good here because we're depositing the same ingots on the same belt. All right, so our zinc is fully backed up right now, but it won't be for long, because what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna come over to this rubite here. Yeah, I just wanna get a little bit of lead ore. That way we can dump it over in our smelter, our ore processors right here. We can get 12 lead ingots that we can put into this zinc system to get it going, because currently our zinc's backed up, which means our bobmonium is not running. Which isn't really a big deal, to be honest, because you don't actually have to have bobmonium hooked up. Right now, we've got sturtite and sapphirite. That's enough for us to actually start our smelting operation. So we could come up here and we could run our main bus, and we could move all this production and set up all of our upgraded stuff. But since I've already got bobmonium connected and all the zinc smelters down and everything, I'm just going to go ahead and finish it, because why not? Okay, there we go. 24 lead oxide. It's going to give me 24 lead ingots, so that's going to be plenty. I only need 12 lead ingots to get this thing going. So this guy, 60 molten lead. It needs 60. Now the lead ingots are going back into the furnace. So we might need more than 12 for this thing to run non-stop, because it does take time for the lead ingots to smelt back down into molten. As you can see, this pauses for a little bit. So putting a little more lead ingots in there is probably going to be beneficial for us. All right, let's visit our to-do list real quick. Ingot smelting, pretty much done. I'm gonna go ahead and, done. Okay, I got it. Water processing, purified water, that's done. Oxygen production, that's done. All right, so what do I need to do? Let's add some tasks here. I'm gonna set up my main bus. I wanna set up full production. Ammo belt plus T2 turrets, I wanna get those up. I'm a little worried about the biters coming in. Okay, so for the smelter systems, we're gonna need induction furnaces and a lot of them. So I'm gonna go grab my car and go up there and grab some steel and just re-up on everything that we need to set the system up.
Few moments later.
Let's make 4, 5, 6 induction furnaces. I'm gonna make 10 casting machines, although 4, 8, we're gonna need 16. Okay, I made 16 casting machines.
Stop it. Get some help.
So, one thing that I need to think about is steel. Where am I gonna set up steel production? So, steel ingots I'm not gonna be able to make because I'm not going to be making iron ore. I'm going to be taking sapphire, melting it into iron plates, and then melting the iron plates into steel plates. So we're not going to have steel ingots. That's going to come later. We're going to have to figure that out later. Where is it? Where are you? Steel plates. There you are. It's quite large. It looks like the middle belt running through the entire thing is going to be our fuel line. The other line in the middle is where we deposit. So the line on the outside is going to be sapphire ore. And then we're processing the crushed stone into stone, but I don't really see a reason to process it into crushed stone or stone. Actually, I do see a reason now. We're going to need stone on our main bus for things like stone blocks and various other stuffs. Might look a little, you know what, this is fine. I'm gonna go ahead and slap it down right here. Okay, and then I'm gonna get rid of the stuff I don't need, like all this stuff. We're gonna be feeding most of the crushed stone back into our power system, so I don't need a lot of that. I also don't have any red belts. What do we need to make them? Bronze. Yeah, we're not making bronze yet, so we're just gonna be using yellow belts for now. Okay, so we're researching to get to the fast inserters and the fast stack the fast stack inserters and the fast stack filter inserters. Those are going to be our primary inserters. We're going to just use them for everything. Well, maybe not everything. There might be a few things where we actually want it to go slow. For example, we're going to be pulling like plates off of our line just to put in chests for us to personally use for things, and we might want to use yellow inserters for that. That way, when we take a stack out of the chest, we don't just drain the entire line. We still have some going to our bus because the yellow inserters aren't fast enough to do that. So I think, oh wait, these are two-tier ore crushers. No way. They're tier 2 ore crushers. So do I want to make these? How many do I need? 16. Yeah, I can make 16 tier 2s. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab more steel. We need some more clay bricks as well, so I'll grab that stuff. We'll make the tier 2 crushers, and then we'll come back.
Much later.
Okay, we will need oxygen over here, but I do have oxygen right here, so it works out frickin' perfectly. Just run that to there. Yep, alright, we're connected, and then we can get rid of that underground. Okay, so we just need to connect our fuel lines and everything should be peachy creams. Oh, we also need to run a belt on the outside for our crushed stone. Back to our crushed stone line. Okay, our fuel's going in. Now where's our sapphire coming from? Okay, there. Now we're splitting our sapphire ore over to our steel. Sapphire in, and then our crushed stone line. That's fine. There we go. Okay, crushed stone, back on the crushed stone line. Perfect. Oh. These need to be filter inserters. Still kind of annoying. So let's remember to rotate all these. Actually, we don't need to do that. We can just come to one that's in the correct orientation. Pick crushed stone, and then shift right click, shift left click to copy paste the settings. Make sure we're only hitting the filter inserters. There we go. And these ones down here don't need filter inserters because they're depositing into assembly machines, which only take crushed stone. So it's never going to take our crushed sapphire, put it in here because it won't accept it. There we go. And then I was contemplating adding a warehouse to store steel in, but nah. So yeah, this is just gonna connect directly to our main bus here. Okay, there's our steel production. Now we can actually start on the induction furnaces. So here's our T1 ingot smelt. So if we just rotate it, and I'm gonna leave quite a bit of space in between the ingot belt and this because, well, I know we're gonna have gold, aluminum. So well, you know what I could do actually? So gold, aluminum, silver, probably. And then I'm going to leave a little more space for literally anything else that might go on this bus. I don't know what will, but we're out of inserters and filter inserters. So where's my car? Let me go grab my car, go re-up on some of these things, and then we'll figure out what we're doing. I'm not sure that I want bronze tin on the same line. Well, let's go ahead and slap down another one of these. I think just leaving room for the power pole in between is probably fine. So yeah, go ahead and do that. You know what? Copper tin. Let's do copper tin on the same belt. So this is actually going to be molten copper, and then these are going to be copper plates. All right, so now let's go ahead and slap iron down. Now we're going to use silicon ingots for iron, so we can get either 120 molten iron for 12 iron ingots, or we can get 240 molten iron for 12 iron ingots and 12 silicon ingots. So we're essentially turning silicon into iron, right? We're doubling the amount of molten iron we get, but we're using silicon ingots to do so. So we're making some sort of ally with iron silicon. So let's go ahead and do that. And I know from experience that we're definitely going to need all of these producing iron. So we're going to need one full line of iron. Sometimes I like to, well, normally I like to split the belt and do half and half, but iron you cannot do that on. You absolutely need a double line of iron here. So I guess I could come over here and we just need tin and copper for these. So if we just, this is going to be tin, and this is going to be copper. And I've sort of rearranged the way I design this stuff too, or the way I set it up, which I think is much cleaner than it used to be. If I just do this, stick an inserter right there. Bad side is we're only depositing on one side. You know what? No. We're going to split this. Yeah, we're going to split this into the splitter, which goes into the loader, which loads that. So we're smelting some tin. We do have some small inline tanks as well to store up some molten tin. Okay, now copper, we're gonna do the same thing. Underground here. You know, we're gonna use a lot of undergrounds doing it this way, but it's gonna look better than if we just had one underground this way, wouldn't it? Yeah, that looks all wonky, man. I don't like that. All right, change of plans. We're just gonna use 1 billion underground belts to make this look good. What can I say, man? I'm a cosmetic whore, you know what I mean? We use a whole lot more, but it looks nicer. And I'm all about that. I'm all about that looking nice life. And I'm just gonna go ahead and queue up some more research. Just all the stuff, basically. Don't really care at this point, just trying to burn through the red, yellow stuff. Dink dinky donk. Alrighty then. Yeah, we've got a lot of iron plates stored up. And you know what I'm gonna do actually? I'm gonna add a second inserter here because I wish loaders could unload as well. Can they? I've never actually tried. Loaders unload too! Oh my god! Oh my god! Okay. So, you know I was saying that we use splitters to put it on both sides of the belt and all that magical stuff? Well, turns out I'm just a numbskull. Bump, 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 bump. My goodness, these loaders. Okay, my defense, this is the first run through that I've actually used these loaders, so I didn't know the mechanics fully. But now that I do, I love them so much more than I did before, which was a lot, so that's saying a lot. Oh, look at that. That looks so nice, doesn't it? That's like a Picasso. Oh, we need silicone too. Can somebody smack me? Okay, so since we're only going on half the belt, we just put a splitter like this. How do we do this actually? All right, so we can just take inserters here. We can do this, and we can say you deposit on that side of the belt. Okay, there we go. That's much cleaner than trying to do the whole splitter thing. With splitter works great if you're just doing one belt, but it's not good enough for a double-sided thing, so we're gonna need to get faster inserters here ASAP so they can load this quicker. All right, so we've got iron, copper, tin. That's probably, oh, we need bronze. So let's go ahead and set up one more. And as we research more, we will unlock more bronze recipes. Why can't, oh, I need an induction furnace 2 for this one. So we'll be using copper, nickel, and tin to make bronze. Or we could just use copper tin. I guess we're not going to be using nickel for anything else, so it's probably better to do that. So let me go ahead and make an induction furnace 2 so we can get that second recipe going. Okay. Oh, we need our induction furnace 2. There we go. There we go. That's much better. Okay, so we're going to need a second loader here. That, so we need, what do we need? What's the most? So copper we need 18 of. So we're gonna want copper to be on its own solo line here. Solo line. We should actually do copper last probably, right? Solo line there. And then what do we need? Nickel tin. Yeah, we don't have anything going into this one currently, so let me clear the settings, because yeah, don't know what's going on this side yet. Okay, we've got bronze set up. I think, let's see, iron, copper, tin, bronze. I think that's enough for us to get the bus going. So I'm gonna go ahead and we'll just start the bus on this line. We've got the start of our main bus going right now. Now I say main bus, but I don't know, man. These systems can change at any time, and we could just be like designing a whole new furnace system at the drop of a hat. So I don't know. Nah, this is gonna produce a lot for us for a long time. So that's why we're putting a lot of effort and time into sort of developing this system, making sure it runs well. That way we're not gonna have any issues. Speaking of running well, why am I backed up on stirtite here? So yeah, somehow we got some geodes on the chunk line. Just on that one. Wonder how that happened. Oh! Was that in the blueprint? Oh my gosh. Okay guys, if you're using these blueprints, beware. I may have forgot to remove some of the underground belts. So this underground belt was actually connected to one going into the splitter, which is why the geodes were getting passed. It looks like that's the only one I forgot. I don't know that I need steel on both lines, but I'm gonna go ahead and run a double line of steel anyway, because I think I probably will need it. And I think right here, I'm glad I left this room here, because this is probably where I'll set up wood, because we will need wood on this line as well. Also, I need to run this stone line. I kind of want wood stone on this side, because we do use a lot of wood stone, but you know what? It's fine. The way I'm gonna set this up, I think it's not gonna matter. We'll only be depositing on one side because the wood's going to come from down here. Yep, that's where it's going. And then all of these inserters will actually need to be adjusted to drop on the left side of the belt because we've got stone on the right side. Also, I don't have any of these seed extractors, so I'm going to have to make seed extractors. I'm going to have to make more greenhouses, which shouldn't be a problem because I am not short on glass. I think I may have overdone it on the glass in early game, just a tad. yeah, I'm kind of out of time right now, so we're gonna have to call this an episode. And wow, man, things are really starting to look good. Oh my gosh, isn't this just so, look at that. It's so satisfying. So satisfying just to see this belt. Wait till it's completely full with gold, aluminum, silver, like lead. It's just, it's gonna be so nice. But yeah, we're starting to take shape. Anyway, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you guys next time.